Welcome back to Skyway Bound presents Fly Tampa Fly. This is your Tampa Bay area small business aviation news source, or whatever you want it to be in the future. But right now our focus is on building the aviation community in the Greater Tampa Bay area. And if you're interested in starting a small business in the world of aviation, stick with us and join forces, and let's see what we can do together. Aha! Hey guys, my camera's up here today, and yeah, just bear with me. You guys have seen me over the past videos, I'm just winging it, so at least I'm doing it. Alright, let me get my presentation thing here set up, because Alright, so our question of the day is, with respect to the certification of airmen, which are categories of aircraft? A, gyroplane, helicopter, airship, free balloon, or B, airplane, rotorcraft, glider, lighter than air, or C, single engine land, and C, multi-engine land, and C. Stay tuned for the answer. So of course we can't give you the answer now. In the future we'll have prizes, but you know, I'm broke, so bear with me. So I just got this fade option. I figured out the fade option a little. I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but I added a few milliseconds, and you know, hopefully that was a nice fade for you. And I'm having a good time. All right, so the FAA has a light sport proposal in this. Get to my slide. This thing called the MOSAIC. The MOSAIC. They published this FAA. They publish a bunch of stuff. I don't completely understand it, but I'm trying to, and I'm learning. You know, what's his face? That really famous guy says a good pilot is always boop. You say the rest. I don't want to get sued for his trademark. All right, the FAA released a long-awaited rulemaking proposal to do away with the light sport aircraft weight limits and other restrictions on pilots who fly them through sport pilots who still be limited. Though sport pilots will still be limited to one passenger at a time. So this came out, and there's a good video that came out from, I think it was Oshkosh a couple weeks ago. I will try to put that in the description. Check it out. The beauty of this proposal is it's going to open up the world of light sport. I train a student. She flies a Jabiru, and it's a really, really fun little light sport aircraft. It's a very capable aircraft, and one of their goals is to bring down the cost of training. The aircraft that she flies, it gets like 5 gallons, it's like 5 gallons an hour or something ridiculous. I mean, for as small as that aircraft is, you have like 5-6 hours worth of fuel in it. And it's just a fun little sporty little aircraft. So more to follow. We'll put links to the proposal in the description, and as well as that other video from Oshkosh. I can't remember the name of the podcast, but it was pretty cool. It's great information. Definitely something you want to keep your eyes on. The FAA Reauthorization bill. This slide might be a little, of course my whole podcast is a little behind the times, because a lot of times I get this information like a week or two previous, and they've already moved on, and I haven't really kept up with it. But since I'm practicing my processes and you guys are bearing with me, here it goes. An amendment to the House's FAA reauthorization package that would have guaranteed reasonably priced parking for transient aircraft at public use airports did not survive the markup process. Darn it. The House rules package was stripped of that and several other GA-related amendments before it heads to the House floor for a vote. AOPA, our friends at AOPA, of which I am a member and encourage all of you guys to be as well if you're in the world of aviation, they are lobbying for transient parking fees to allow pilots who don't need fuel or other services to avoid the fees charged by some FBOs who have exclusive parking rights at some airports. So they're trying to look after us and keep the airports open. So, that sounds like a good thing to me. All right, moving on to the next one. All right, this is my attempt to add humor. If you don't laugh, that's your problem. The FAA has issued a whole statement that it does not use Chat GPT to help write computer code in its air traffic operations. They don't now, They will in the future, probably. The agency hastily issued the statement after the Department of Transportation published a list of artificial intelligence use throughout its organization. See, they're already using it. The list is required for compliance with an executive order mandating the enumeration of any and all artificial intelligence use in government reports. The inclusion of 3 uses of Chat GPT within the air traffic operations was reported by FedScoop. That sounds like a link I need to find for you guys, and resulted in a quick response from the agency. So I'm sorry, folks, no Chat GPT if you work in the FAA, at least not according to this. But they are using artificial intelligence, and those of you who are looking to get into the world of government contracting, keep that in mind. That could potentially be an opportunity for you to work with the government and gain a government contract for those of you who are looking to get into small businesses that are seeking government contracts. And that's one of the reasons. Yes, I jest with this slide, but at the same time, I am serious that there's potential for you to get into the world of artificial intelligence. All right, the FAA has a Part 91 minimum equipment list. And let's see what my notes say. This is, I should have highlighted my notes here. Okay, so basically they're updating an advisory circular that they haven't updated in a long time to kind of help people get through the confusion of figuring out minimum equipment lists. In particular, this advisory circular 9167A, it hasn't been released yet, but it will be released. And if you're looking to comment, we will put the FAA site on the link, or put a link in the description. So you can go take a look at that, and I think there's a way for you on the FAA site to actually send in your input. I'm not sure if they're going to take input from regular people, but I'll look into that. If you're able to put in your own input, I'll try to find that link and put it in the site. But at minimal, I will put the actual document, draft document, in the description so you guys can check it out and see what's going on with regards to the FAA. Here's a fun note for those of you who are looking to get into the world of aviation. They still need you. Apparently they need 2.3 million pilots. And, well, yeah, that's not much more I can say about that. The point being is if you're looking to get into the world of aviation, and it doesn't have to be just pilots, the study is talking about pilots, but there's more to aviation. It takes hundreds of people to get those 2 pilots in the airline industry in the air. There's a lot of opportunity, and I just want to encourage, if you're in the Greater Tampa Bay area and you want to get into the world of aviation, if this slide doesn't encourage you, I don't know what will. You know, pay me $250 an hour and I'll consult to make you feel better. But the world needs you, and the world needs more pilots and aviation industry personnel. I'm a pilot, so I'm kind of partial. All right, electronic flight bag news. This was a... Let's see. Each year they publish a plan. Oh yeah, that's what this was. They publish a really cool place on their website where they kind of talk about the things that affect how you use your iPad and your electronic flight bag. And the reason I included this is so you guys could find it. The Sporty's iPad Pilot News. That's what it is. Sporty's does it. So they have a really cool link to where you can kind of keep up what's happening with regards to the FARs and advisory circulars pertaining to the use of your iPads in various electronic flight bags in the cockpit. And that's just it's a good resource. So I wanted to include that and get that information out there for you guys so you had something handy. A little business development news. If you are looking to network, which I highly encourage if you're looking to start some sort of small aviation-based business, the highly anticipated, this is straight off their website, from the NBAA, the National Business Aviation Association, the highly anticipated 2023 Tax, Regulatory, and Risk Management Conference is ready to take off. Hundreds of brilliant minds in their minds including aviation attorneys, CPAs, aircraft owners, financial advisors, CFOs, and flight operations professionals, are convening October 15th through 16th in Las Vegas. So if you want to network with aviation business professionals, this is a great place to do it. And oh, by the way, whatever you do in Vegas stays in Vegas. And just keep it family friendly and stay out of trouble. Nice little opportunity for you. A little bit of aviation history for you. Did you know that Brooksville has an airport? And it's part of the Tampa Bay Regional Airport System. Like many general aviation airports in Florida, Brooksville's airport is a former World War II military airfield. The U.S. War Department constructed Brooksville Army Airfield as an operational training facility that consisted of runways, taxiways, and all that airport stuff, to include buildings. Right now, the airport is a major economic force on Florida's Adventure Coast. Oh, I didn't even know we called it the Adventure Coast. See, I learned something new while I'm trying to help you guys out. And they've got more than 120 businesses on the airfield, over 2,200 employees, and they're pumping in more than $350 million annually into the direct economy activity to the region. That was straight off their website, of which we will put in the description. Also, it's a great place. There's still, if you've been up to the airport and flown around the airport, there's still some space there for more aviation businesses. That's an opportunity for you up there as well. Everybody local knows that the Greater Tampa Bay area is just booming. And if you're looking to get into the world of aviation, into the aviation industry and small business, Brooksville might be a place for you to consider. And that's why we put it there. So take that for what it's worth. We'll put the airport history in the description, and hopefully it helps you out a little bit. And now for our answer for the question of the day. With respect to the certification of airmen, which are categories of aircraft? B, airplane, rotorcraft, glider, lighter than air are the categories of aircraft. Where can you find that? I had the answer. I forgot to put the reference of the answer. I want to say that is, here it is. I did put it in there. It is FAR Chapter 1. It's in the definitions. You can find the definition category, and it's the subsection 1 for this particular answer. As used with respect to the certification, rating, privileges, and limitations of airmen, means a broad classification of aircraft. Examples include aircraft, rotorcraft, glider, and lighter than air. So boom. So I did have it. Anyway, I will put the link to that specific, to the specific part 1 with all the definitions. You'll have to scroll to find the category, but you'll have it in the description so you can get the answer, more readily get the answer. And folks, that brings us to the end. So I'm making up for the past couple where I went over 20 minutes, so I'm going to try to keep this one a little bit shorter. But as always, thank you to our sponsors, Jetline Systems. They allow me to hang out in the room. You see, they let me set up my desktop simulator. Gaming, it's not an official, it's not an ATD, it's not a BTD, but it's a great way for people to get their minds in the game. Eventually, we are hoping to get a BATD here. And oh, by the way, if you're interested in, I call it a sim, not a sim center. I had a different word for it. I call it the button lab. Oh, sim lab. If you're interested in a simulator lab and you would actually consider paying for that, looking to get some sort of BATD, basic air training device or advanced air training device or an aircraft training device here, and that kind of equipment, you can log a certain amount of time. If you're already a rated instrument pilot for that equipment, you can of course log that to maintain your instrument currency. And then for everybody else, there's limits per the FARs, but you can still do it. My focus is more on getting people to practice procedurally in an environment where they can touch the buttons, especially with all the advanced electronics. Yeah, it's really dangerous to be in the aircraft and not know how to operate it properly, to include how the avionics, which is going to help you get from point A to point B. And so that's one of my goals, is to help pilots initially in the Greater Tampa Bay area with this Button Lab concept. If you're interested, shoot us a direct message, private message, and just tell us, hey, I'm interested in learning more. And yes, I would consider paying for access to something like that. So I ran a poll on Facebook, but I only got 20 people. So maybe I'll run it again. But in the meanwhile, if you feel like that's something of interest, me and my friends at Jetline Systems are looking to put together something like that. Yes, my friends at MyPC, they're still here to help you. If you have any IT cybersecurity needs for your small business, if you don't want to be an IT security person, well, let a professional do it for you. My friends at MyPC can take care of that for you. Any and all things cybersecurity and IT services, they can help you pull yourself out of the weeds so you can focus on what you do best, which is your business. It's not being a cybersecurity IT person. And then finally, Skyway Bound Aviation Services. That's me. If you're looking to take flight lessons or just talk about aviation or maybe some sort of aviation ground training, we can help you out. And our goal is, of course, to promote aviation within the Greater Tampa Bay area. And that's what we do in a nutshell. And then in the background, you don't see them or hear them, but they are here. I got a couple of friends in the background, Brooke and Zed. Stay tuned. Stay tuned in the future. So you may or may not see them, but they're here now. I see them, and they're smiling, so things are good. All right. Thank you for joining us today. Thanks to my friends in the unofficial audience for joining me today. I'm just having a good time. I'm winging it. Like I always say, if you want to take this or whatever and make it better, please do. But in the meanwhile, you're stuck with me for the time being. Our goal is to help promote the small business, aviation small businesses in the local Greater Tampa Bay area. We have hyper-focused because this is where I live for the time being. And I plan to be here for a long while. And I just want to help the community out. And so if you want to get involved, you want to help, just go ahead and shoot me a direct message, and we can figure out how we can work together and help the Greater Tampa Bay area with regards to the aviation community, because the aviation community is going away no time ever in our lifetime. It's only expanding. And personally, I like this coast better than I like Orlando or even the Space Coast, even though they got the shuttle. I think there's so much talent here, and if we could work together to boost up that talent and make this area, really help this area, a lot of good things can come out of that. So once again, thank you for your time. As always, study hard, fly safe, and as I like to say, Fly Tampa Fly. You guys have a great rest of your week, month. I'll try to get my videos out on time. I'm working on it. But thanks for joining me today. I appreciate y'all. Have a great day.